could share, that would be great.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I have a bunch of slide decks here. I just want to make sure I'm pulling up the right one.
So Terri and Denise are going to be talking to us all about the value of professional development. We thank them again for sharing their information and their knowledge with us as well.
All right, for some reason, that was very slow opening those slides. All right. So I'll start and introduce myself. I'm Denise Michelle, here at the University of Wisconsin, and I am actually at home today because there's a snowstorm going on currently here. But welcome to this talk that kind of segues nicely from Krista's talk. I'll let Terri introduce herself.
Yes, I'm Teresa Kuzo, also known as Terri, and I'm from Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. And I am on the Professional Development Committee along with Denise, and I am home today just because I could. So we're going to get started on our professional development.
All right, so what is professional development and why is it important? Needing to, sorry, there we go. Professional development enables employees to improve themselves through training and learning to advance their careers. It enables one to develop new skills, advanced skills, and build competencies. As Krista pointed out, the GME administrator coordinator roles are expanding rapidly, and coordinators often take the lead in many projects for which program directors are ultimately responsible. I think I can speak on behalf of a lot of us who oftentimes feel like some days we are the program directors. And it allows coordinators to focus on their own professional goals and improve and expand their knowledge base and advance their skills directly that will benefit their programs, their departments, and their institutions. So you're all here as members of Acure. And this is really just an awesome group of people, an awesome organization, and it is a place where professional development opportunities abound. And that's really a lot of what this talk is about, is what you can gain from Acure. And this is what we will talk about, guest lectures, best practices, mentorship, and networking. All right, so this is a great screenshot of our virtual annual meeting. I think it was a year before last. But here I just want to just kind of highlight some of the opportunities that our professional development series offers. So as you just, experienced, we often have guest speakers. We have another guest speaker coming up in a couple of months, which we'll touch on later in this talk. We have this virtual annual meeting every year. So we have the SAU meeting in person, and then this virtual annual meeting, which allows everybody to attend. We will have facilitated open forums throughout the year, and that is just where we as a group can get together. It won't be like a formal lecture, but it'll just be a chance for everybody to come and talk about things, to share best practices, to ask questions. And then our supplemental learning opportunities, and often these are based on things that will help people prepare for TAGME certification. All right, best practices is a sharing of information. And really it is for you to share with your colleagues methods that work well for you. So things that, you know, help you kind of get through the day, help you move your program forward, that you can share with others. Best practices are also a process that produce good outcomes. And in the end, help us all work smarter, not harder. And that's what we're all about here. And that's why this group is so amazing, because that's why we're here, is to help each other work smarter, not harder.
We try to organize the timeline so that when we do these different forums, they fall into the timeline of evaluations or interviews, and you can have that knowledge before you enter that area of the timeline.
Do you want to talk about mentorship, Terri?
Okay, so with mentorship, like Stephanie had said earlier, we're trying to rebuild our mentorship program. A lot of you coordinators that are here today are new. You came into this position maybe without any training or anybody to show you some of these opportunities for, you know, the coordinators and in your program, how to do things, whether you use new innovations or MedHub. And you thought maybe your program director was going to be the person that was going to show you, and they really don't know half of what you do. So we're going to reinstate the mentorship program where some of our more knowledgeable coordinators, people who have been here a long time, can help guide the new coordinators, somebody that you can reach out to if you have a problem or you're not sure how to do something. A timeline is coming up and you're not sure how to go about getting this information done so that you don't have any issues in your program. So this is something that we're going to push forward. And we're going to, you know, if you are interested in getting a mentor, you can reach out to us and we will try and set you up with somebody who has been here a while and create that connection and that network so that you can feel comfortable moving forward in your program. So networking, I love the idea of networking, and obviously you guys have all been interested in networking, or else you wouldn't be here this morning giving up some of your time. And you're part of this, you know, organization. Some of you came to the SAU, so you are really, you know, invested in networking. So not only can you network within this group, but we are trying to expose you to an outside network. As you saw with Krista a little while ago, I didn't know anything about CAD or some of these other programs that she's involved in. And by, you know, getting involved in this professional development series, you will be able to meet up with some people that, you know, you didn't know existed before, and some organizations that you weren't exposed to before, and you can build on your personal development, like Krista had said before. You know, we have monthly series that you really should pay attention to, the emails that come out with our agenda and our schedule for the year. There may be somebody that you're interested in learning more about, or what they have to tell you about their journey or how they do things. And I think it's really valuable to do that. And, you know, we're always out there looking to learn how to be more efficient, how to be more effective, what new technologies are out there, what new programs are out there. Maybe you're overwhelmed with so many different things in your own program, and by networking, we can help you through what you have to do on a regular basis.
And this is our opportunity to put a plug in, like Stephanie alluded to earlier, that we have a number of subcommittees and we're always looking for people to join us. And that doesn't mean, you know, that you need to have hours every week to devote to this. Most often we meet just once a month, if even. So, you know, if it is something you would like to do, something you can put on your resume, any of us on any of the committees would love to have anybody join us. So I'm just going to put in a plug for that.
Tag me. If you are a relatively new coordinator or you plan on doing this as a career, let me tell you, this is an important certification to have. Lynn, I know you're out there, and the reason I have my tag me is because of you and Laura, and you started the study group and you made it fun. It wasn't so overwhelming, and getting that certification has definitely done me a world of service. Sometimes it leads to an increase in salary. I do understand why the doctors are so invested in the initials after their name, because this was something that was, you know, earned. And it's important to me to have those letters next to my name. You know, the study group is wonderful. And once you start studying for this, stick with it, because it's such a deep dive into the requirements and everything that a coordinator does. It was just very enlightening to really increase my knowledge of what the program was all about, what the requirements were, and what we needed to do to make sure that the program ran smoothly. If you possibly are not going to get an increase in salary now, it is definitely going to be something you're going to be able to bargain with if you go on to another residency program. It's a process, it takes a little time and studying, and when you're older like me, and it's been years since you've really taken an exam, it definitely is, you know, a challenge worth accepting. And like I said, if you're going to make this a career, I definitely suggest that you get the tag me. It has been proposed, at least in New Jersey, I don't know if it's across the United States, but that eventually all coordinators will have to be tag me certified after 3 years. I don't know if that's, you know, accurate for everybody, but why wait? Get it now.
Yeah, I have taken the test 3 times, I believe, and this exam has really come a long way. The first time I took it, I had to drive to Rochester, Minnesota, and be there like at 7 a.m. in the morning. So that was like a 3-hour drive for me. And a big group of us took it on one of those old-fashioned exam booklets that we used to have in college. So it was all handwritten. You had a great big binder that you took with us. We were sitting in the Mayo Clinic in some basement room for most of the day taking the exam. And then it was a little bit different when I recertified the first time, but it was more of like a narrative type exam. So I actually had to type a lot of stuff, but it was open book. And now it's a proctored online exam. It's all multiple choice. And it is open book. They provide you with the materials that you need to study. And this is just the upcoming cycle for 2023. The last time we looked, the certification guide and the study guide were not there, but please check the Tag Me website if you are interested in becoming Tag Me certified. You can see the application submission dates here. So you'll have between April 1st and June 1st. So if you are eligible and you are interested, please take a look at that and apply. There are some different dates here for the maintenance of certification. So if you have your initial certification and need to recertify, you'll want to look at that information. And then the assessment completion, this is the time period that you have to take the exam, is July 11th through, I think it's December 16th, and I must have cut that off there. I took my last exam in November. So that gave me really plenty of time to study really prior to like the interview season ramping up. We have had numerous professional development sessions regarding TAGME, and we're happy to do any of those again if anyone is interested. But like we said, we have continued Lynn Voss's amazing TAGME study group. So if you are interested, please join us for that. The more the merrier for that, for sure.
Even just check us out a couple of times and see if it's something that you might be interested in participating in.
And Denise and Terri, you have to be a coordinator for at least 2 years. Is that correct? Before you can apply? Someone asked in the chat.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 years too, that you have to be a coordinator.
Susan says it's 2.
It's 2. I just
think
checked it the other day.
All right,
Yeah.
they may have changed it.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify because I'm glad Susan can corroborate what I thought it was. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I
And
think
you
it was
do have to have
5.
CME. You have
What's
to have some CME. Y'all might want to talk about that.
Yes, yes. The SAU is a perfect opportunity to collect CME. When you do your application, you will have to specify the programs that you attended, the sessions you attended at SAU. So you should keep your agenda so that you will have the names of those topics. We give out credit for some of our professional development speakers. They can be used as well. I believe you can use CME for 2 years on that application. So you should definitely have enough to qualify.
Yeah, I believe that is true. Actually what I do is I just keep sort of a living Word document, and anytime I attend anything like this, that same day I will put that on my document. So when it's time to actually have to apply and give that information in the application process, it was easily available for me. We will provide all of you with a certificate at the end of this day, and every time you attend our professional development sessions, we provide you a certificate. But I don't think you need to prove that you were there. You just need to list what you attended.
Right, right. And I do keep a living document as well of everything that I attend and how many hours it was for. And so that even just if I need it for something else, I have it readily available.
I was going to say that's another thing that newer coordinators, if you attend, if your GME has a some kind of a session, workshops, things like that, you need to be keeping a list of everything you do, everything you attend. If nothing else, if you have a supervisor who doesn't know what you do, you'll be able to provide that information about what you're doing for your own professional development. And again, it will help you, with a lot of things. If you were to decide to apply to be on the coordinators group through the ACGME, all kinds of things. So, and it's much easier to put it down like right after you do it than it is to remember what you did, 6 months or a year ago. So
My institution does not allow for grand rounds. I don't get credit, CME credit for grand rounds for our regular, residency program. But there are, other coordinator programs that, you can get CME for.
And I will put down, if I attend all of our grand rounds because somebody needs to be there, to manage everything.
Right.
But if we ever have something we did on Wednesday that's related to like surgical education or anything related to education, I feel that is definitely a professional development a session that I can record. And so I would put that on my thing. But same with Terri, I wouldn't put anything clinical on my list.
Right.
So definitely check us out, because if this is something that you think you're going to do for the next 10 years, I think you should go for it. Absolutely. And do it, now when you want to do it and not when somebody makes it a requirement of your job and now you're, pressed for time.
I'm so sorry. I'm having difficulty advancing the slides for some reason.
And I did save all of Lynn's sessions, and I did forward them to Denise, and we have them so we can share them or present them at a TAGMI session.
Ladies, I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
So do we have any influence over the amount of time we have to wait to take this? For instance, right now it's 2 years, you have to wait. It's kind of like the cart after the horse or the horse before the cart, whatever that metaphor is. For those, do we have like a lobby where we can go say, can we take this within a year if we know we want to invest in this position? Is there ever been any discussions nationally about that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you.
I would
Yeah.
guess that requirement is because you aren't going to know enough about your job in a year to be able to really fully absorb and comprehend everything, because you are not just learning about your residency. Number one, you're learning about fellowships. If you don't deal with fellowships, then you've got a whole nother group of rules and things you have to learn about.
Right.
So there's a lot of material there. And I know, as someone who came in never having been in GME before, it was definitely a full 2 years before I got all the clouds went away and I wasn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of input. There's just now,
Right.
yeah.
So I mean,
sure.
honestly, I think that they did reduce it from 3 years at some point, because obviously it used to be 3. But I think 2 is actually reasonable.
Okay.
That's like getting your feet wet and learning kind of on your own, as well as learning there. And then by the time you would start studying for TAGMI, you actually have a way to kind of correlate the information you're getting.
In context, yeah.
You could even
Okay.
look online when the guide becomes available, the handbook, and just go through it and
Sure.
see, some of the information that's on there that will be on the test.
Yeah, I'm one of those
Yeah, there's
people,
no
I love my
reason you could-
policies, procedures, and like to know them and then learn. I don't want to learn the wrong way. And then, so I was just curious if that's occurred with anybody. So yeah, I've already been all over the site. I put, like I said, I put all the links in there too. Yeah, but thank you. Appreciate that.
So definitely check out professional development, because I think we have a lot to offer between the speakers, between the open forums, between the reviews. I think there's something with us for everyone.
Mhm. This is just a slide. If you are interested in becoming involved, there's lots of different ways you can. You can become a member. I'm guessing everybody here is a member, but if you have a colleague in urology who is not, please pass this information along and can reach out to Susan. If you'd like to be a mentor or a mentee, you could reach out to MJ. If you'd like to join a committee, you can reach out to Stephanie. And if you'd like to join our professional development committee or even give a presentation, anybody can give a presentation. Anybody can facilitate an open forum. Please, you do not have to have been doing this for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. We would just love it for anybody to be a part of our professional development sessions. And it is something for you to be able to put on your resume. And then lastly, as you all know, we have our urology coordinator Google group, which is just an awesome place where you can go if you need to ask questions of your colleagues. And then lastly, this is our 2023 Acure professional development calendar. So just kind of a sneak preview, subject to change, of course, but you can see what's coming up. So in March, each session is on a Thursday at 1 p.m. Central, once a month. So on March 9th, a month from now, we are going to discuss exiting and entering trainees. So, graduation orientation. This will be just an opportunity for everybody to come with best practices regarding these topics. We will have another guest speaker, Amy DiLorenzo, in April. I will reach out to her soon and see if I can get a title. And then you can just see what else we have planned for the rest of the year. Cody is going to go through some best practices regarding uses of social media, etc. And then we have some facilitated open forums, some supplemental learning opportunities where, again, that will help you prepare for Tag Me if you are going to try to take the exam this year. All right, I am going to stop sharing so that we can all see each other, and then we can look at what is in the chat. And if anybody has any questions, any further questions about Tag Me, we are happy to answer any questions. Sometimes I have found too, on the Tag Me website, you have to do a little bit of digging. It looks like we have a lot of great information here in the chat.
The application is a little bit of a process too, and you will have to get a form signed off on by your program director. And, you know, just hang in with the application. Once you get it in there, it's a little bit easier after that.
We'll say since we were just talking about, you know, the certificates for attending things, somebody posted in the chat, you don't always have to have a certificate. If you went to something and it's educationally, you know, it's going to benefit what you do, then you don't need a certificate for it for really anything at this time. CME, official CME is not required by Tag Me or anyone else. So anything you do that benefits what you do in your job and educates you is going to count. That being said, I know some people here don't have their full name on their name, on their Zoom name, like H. Butler, and not to call you out, but you're just the one that I see. And when we are trying to send out certificates after this is over, it's going to make it a lot easier. Hopefully, I know Zoom made some changes. Hopefully we will have your email addresses from the log, but it is possible that we won't. So at least if we have your full name, even better if we have your institution, then we'll be able to find you and get you that. But if you did attend and you don't get something, feel free to reach out to us and we will get it to you.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping a list, but I do keep a copy of all the PDF certificates that I send out. So from the past couple of years, I do have that. So if you do have any questions and you're wondering if you attended something, feel free to email me and I'm happy to look it up for you. Again, we really just want to, you know, thank everybody for being a part of this group and just encourage people to get involved in things, to, you know, present something if they feel that, you know, they have some best practices to share, or even if you don't think it's a best practice, just something that you think has worked really well for you that you might want to share. Nothing is really too small or too big. We just want, you know, we want as many people as possible to be able to share their knowledge. And that just gives all of us an opportunity to learn from each other.
We all
Well, and
benefit.
if there's something you've been having a problem with, right, bring that to our attention. We can have an open forum about it. We can, you know, it doesn't have to be something you know, it could be something you don't know that you need to know. And you know, those are the kind of things, you know, ask them on the board, but on the group, on the Google group. But if you don't get the answer, then follow up with, you know, me or Denise or Terri or anybody on the steering committee and just say, you know, could we do something about this? Could we have a meeting about it or whatever? And I'm sure we'll do our best to do that.
Yeah, maybe we can have a professional development session on the topic that you need help with.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, we're, you know, and if we have to add a one-off to our usual monthly session, that's okay. You know, I'm willing to do something like that if it's something, you know, that will be helpful. I know that somebody brought up, could we talk about the APE? And for most of us, that's probably going to occur sooner rather than later. So if it's not on the list, it's definitely something we could talk about nonetheless, and we could do it as a separate one-off.
Great
So-
talk. Thank you, guys.
Do you have anybody else, questions or comments or anything else before we move on? Well, I guess we're moving to a break next. So if anyone has anything, certainly please, speak up. We're glad. That's why we're here to talk. Yeah,
I'll speak
Priyanka.
up.
Hey, sure.
Fantastic presentation, Terri and Denise, as always. But question about the professional development timetable that you laid out. If anybody has suggestion from the Acure group on the topic they would like, how can they get back to you or let you know, or how can they get their topic of interest on that schedule?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Feel free to email me. I'll put my email down here anytime. And I share the professional development group at my own institution, so I'm constantly begging them for topics as well. Yeah, definitely reach out anytime. Our professional development group, which is Terri, Priyanka, Amy, and Natasha and I meet monthly, and we are happy to make any adjustments to the schedule based on things that people want or need, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if no one else has any questions or comments, I guess we'll take a break for, I don't know, we had 15 minutes scheduled. We're way ahead of time, but I suppose that's fine. It's okay with everybody if we finish a little earlier than we planned. So let's just take 15 minutes and we'll be back at 12:35. And we'll start that with our site visit discussion.
Great. See you guys in a little bit.
All
Awesome.
right. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you.